Good morning and welcome to Washington Park United Church of Christ. I'm Lee Berg, and I serve as designated minister and pastor of Washington Park, UCC. Thank you, Peter. And it's good to see those of you who braved the cold to join us this morning. Thank you for coming. And those of you who are online, we're glad you're with us. Thank you for being a part of this today. I'll turn down my phone. Thanks, Tom Lures and Bev Rexroad, for directing and taking care of our services last Sunday. And thank you for having the wisdom to line up a guest preacher in case I didn't get over what kept me from being here last week. So thank you very, very much. And we're thrilled to have Reverend Terri Bowen with us today. She was served at Park Hill for a number of years and continues to do ministry in the area, and she's a friend, and we're glad to have you. So thanks for being with us today. No matter who you are, no, because of who you are, because of where you are on life's journey, you're welcome here. And now if you would join me in the call to worship. Your steadfast love, O God, extends to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds.
For with you is the fountain of life. Fill us with life.
Your righteousness is like the mighty mountains. Your judgments are like the great deep.
For with you is the fountain of life. Fill us with life.
O continue your steadfast love to those who know you, and your salvation to the upright of heart.
For with you is the fountain of life. Fill us with life.
And now we invite you to stand in body, mind, and our spirit as we sing together, Dream God's Dream.
Every
We're going to change up the order of readings just a little bit. I'm going to share with you the scripture readings, and then we'll do our Living God, Touch Our Hearts, and we'll save Dr. King's reading for Terri to incorporate as part of her reflection. Amos 5:21 through 24. I despise your festivals, and I take no delight in your solemn assemblies. Even though you offer me your burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will not accept them. And the offerings of well-being of your fatted animals I will not look upon. Take away from me the noise of your songs. I will not listen to the melody of your harps, but let justice roll down like water, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. And then from Paul's writing to the church at Galatia, Galatians 6, 9, and 10. So let us not grow weary in doing what is right, for we will reap at harvest time if we do not give up. So then, whenever we have an opportunity, let us work for the good of all, especially for those of the family of faith. And now let's sing together, Living God, Touch Our Hearts.
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me here this morning. It was a beautiful -8 degrees at my house in Brighton this morning. I'm glad to be here. My granddaughter Promise is here somewhere. She just got a phone, so she's probably off with her phone, but I'm grateful to be here. Thank you so much. Now, let me start. This is from Where Do We Go From Here by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I say to you, I have decided to stick with love, for I know that love is ultimately the only answer to mankind's problems. And I'm going to talk about it everywhere I go. I know it isn't popular to talk about it in some circles today. And I'm not talking about emotional bosh when I talk about love. I'm talking about a strong, demanding love. For I have seen too much hate. I've seen too much hate on the faces of sheriffs in the South. I've seen hate on the faces of too many Klansmen and too many white citizens' councils in the South to want to hate myself, because every time I see it, I know that it does something to their faces and their personalities. And I say to myself that hate is too great a burden to bear. I have decided to love. If you are seeking the highest good, I think you can find it through love. And the beautiful thing is that we aren't moving wrong when we do it, because John was right. God is love. He who hates does not know God, but he who loves has the key that unlocks the door to the meaning of ultimate reality. And so I say to you today, my friends, that you may be able to speak with the tongues of men and angels. You may have the eloquence of articulate speech, but if you have not love, it means nothing. Yes, you may have the gift of prophecy. You may have the gift of scientific prediction and understand the behavior of molecules. You may break into the storehouse of nature and bring forth many new insights. Yes, you may ascend to the heights of academic achievement so that you have all knowledge. And you may boast of your great institutions of learning and the boundless extent of your degrees, but if you have not love, all these mean absolutely nothing. You may even give your goods to feed the poor. You may bestow great gifts to charity, and you may tower high in philanthropy. But if you have not love, your charity means nothing. You may even give your body to be burned and die the death of a martyr, and your split blood may be a symbol of honor for generations yet unborn. And thousands may praise you as one of history's greatest heroes. But if you have not love, your blood was spilt in vain. What I'm trying to get you to see this morning is that a man may be self-centered in his self-denial and self-righteous in his self-sacrifice. His generosity may feed his ego, and his piety may feed his pride. So without love, benevolence becomes egotism, and martyrdom becomes spiritual pride. You know, sermon writing is a funny process sometimes. Today, I was going to tell you about my career at the Justice Center and talk to you about Yvonne Missy Woods and all the damage that she did by falsifying DNA results and then perjuring herself on the witness stand. And as I prayed about it, though, and I tried to figure out a way for that story to fit into this sermon, the only thing that was bubbling up, I mean, a visceral bubbling up was, aren't you mad? And I thought, well, yes, I am, but I can't preach that. Aren't you mad? It was louder. It was louder. My husband said, oh, Terry, I don't know if that's the message you should preach. You don't know this church. Aren't you mad? I said, okay, yes, I am mad. And some of you may be mad too. You may feel the same way. Mad that we have a bigot, a racist, a misogynistic man being inaugurated as president. Mad that on the national holiday for Martin Luther King Jr., a man is being inaugurated because of the color of his skin and not based on the content of his character. A man being inaugurated on Martin Luther King Jr. Day when the flags are supposed to be flying at half-mast to honor President Jimmy Carter, a man who demonstrated his faith every day of his life. But tomorrow, the flags will be raised. Mad that almost 90 million people didn't vote. Mad that the proposed cabinet that has been offered is determined to remove DEI and a woke agenda, calling it divisive. Mad that the proposed defense secretary wants to increase lethality in our current military-industrial complex. Mad that they are trying to remake history by calling the insurrection of January 6th a day of love. You are climate champions and a whole earth church. Are you mad that he intends to issue orders doing away with regulations designed to reduce pollution? Mad that he intends to issue deportation orders beginning with our neighbors in Aurora? Are you mad that people had to pay to pray? Are you mad that the Christian nationalists support him? And do you get mad when you see the next president's face? Tom and I were talking about that. It's like, I get mad, and I get mad when I hear his voice. Are you mad? Yes. And maybe mad isn't the word. Maybe the word that I should be using is grief-stricken. full of grief. And I could go on and on and on, but friends, we need some hope here this morning, don't we? In today's Bible verses, Paul is offering the churches in Galatia encouragement. Just some background, Paul established the churches of Galatia, but found his work was being challenged by unknown and unidentified rival missionaries. These rival missionaries were providing, let's say, misinformation and disinformation. And after Paul scolded the Galatians for a bit for even considering the information, he offers this encouragement. Let us not grow weary in doing what is right, for we will reap at harvest time if we do not give up. So then, whenever we have an opportunity, let us work for the good of all. Let us not grow weary. Let us work for the good of all. If I was a herald, this is what I would be proclaiming. Let us not grow weary. Let us work for the good of all. Maybe while you all are at the MLK Parade tomorrow, those words can be your mantra. Let us not grow weary. Martin Luther King Jr. was in a similar situation. In 1967, America was still oppressing black people. There were twice as many unemployed black people as white, an infant mortality rate that was double what it was for white women, twice as many blacks killed in the Vietnam War, black children lagged behind in education as well as in attendance in college. And out of this oppression, he questioned, where do we go from here? Chaos or community? You heard his wonderful words this morning. Of course, he made the choice for community. He made the choice of love. We too must choose community and love. How wonderful is it to gather together and be one another with one another and to be loved by one another. Even on this very cold morning, it is wonderful to be together. With the formidable foe we are now faced with, it demands more unity from us than ever before. We must make the conscious choice for community and love every day. Community and love should be like a mighty stream that waters our lives. God spoke through the prophet Amos, and we are told that God does not want our festivals, doesn't want our assemblies, our offerings. God does not even want our songs. God wants justice. Justice to roll down like water and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. And let's think about this for a minute. The Tao Te Ching, the classic text of Taoism, says water, which is the softest and most pliant substance in the world, flows over rock, which is the hardest and most rigid substance. And as it flows, it enters even the tiniest crevices. We know that water eventually carved through rock and formed beautiful canyons all over the world. As a community of people who covenant with God and with one another to practice radical hospitality, practice revolutionary peace, practice unconditional love of all of God's people, what can we accomplish when we work to let justice roll down like a mighty stream? Not water, a drop at a time, but a mighty stream. A stream that is relentless and unstoppable and stubborn and deep. A stream that may seem frozen at the moment, but it will thaw. For God did not give us the spirit of timidity, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline. Let's use our collective anger to motivate us. Tomorrow you will march. Tomorrow you will discuss the book of joy, lasting happiness in a changing world. Joy as resistance. That's powerful, friends. And then let's feed the hungry and confront the wealthy. Let's help heal the oppressed and challenge their oppressors. Let's welcome the outcast and call out the leaders who excluded them. Let's help liberate the broken and oppose the fracturers. Let's invite people we don't agree with into a life-giving community like Wash Park. Let's use our collective imaginations to find ways to truly love people we don't agree with. Let's find subversive ways to help our undocumented neighbors. And let's use our brightest and best to stop the rape of the world. Let's let peace be a product of our work for justice, true peace. Let's remember the words of the prophets and write them on our hearts. The words of Paul, "Do not grow weary, and let us work for the good of all." The words of Martin Luther King Jr., "I have decided to love. If you are seeking the highest good, I think you can find it through love." And the words from Amos, "Let justice roll down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream." May it be so.
And now let's stand in body, mind, and our spirit as we sing together, "Oh, for a World." The conferences that are impacted by the UCC conferences that are impacted by the fires are the channels through which the offering that we're raising for fire relief for the victims of the Los Angeles area fires. There is a bowl on the table where you can give a donation. Wash Park will match that donation up to $5,000. And so please give. You can make checks out to either Wash Park, or you can it'd be better to make them out to Wash Park. That way Peter won't pull out his hair trying to figure it out. But this, 3 years ago, during the Marshall fires out in Boulder County. We did this, and we'll do it for our friends. The Altadena Congregational Church was destroyed, and the UCC Church. So our funds will join with other funds to help them rebuild their lives. So if you can, please join in that gift. 2008, Cindy and I got to attend an inauguration, and that was President Obama's first. And there were 2 million people there that day. And we walked from the swearing in over to near the White House, and it was more like being moved by the crowd. The Washington, D.C. Police Department reported 0 arrests that day. I share that just to keep in mind what is possible as we prepare to walk with grief. I'm in all black today, and that wasn't an accident. Well, I guess I have it right. But we can remember what it can be, and in remembering, find our joy. And now, join me in our prayer of dedication. Holy One, may our gifts declare your glory and benefit the common good. Receive them with our gratitude for your generosity and the opportunity to participate in your kingdom on earth. Amen. And now may we stand together in body, mind, and spirit as we sing, Lead Us from Death to Life.
Next week is the semi-annual meeting.
Okay. One other announcement. Oh, by the way, we have our semi-annual meeting next Sunday, so please be aware of that. And that's when we carry out some of the business of the congregation as well. So thank you, Beth. May we sing together. Lead us from death to life, from falsehood to truth, from despair to hope, from fear to trust. Lead us from pain to love, from war to peace. Let peace fill our hearts, let peace fill our world, let peace fill our universe. Let justice ever roll, let mercy fill the earth, let us begin to grow into your people. We can be loved, we can bring peace, we can still feel way of compassion. Lead us from death to life, from falsehood to truth, from despair to hope, from fear to trust. Lead us from pain to love, from war to peace. Let peace fill our hearts, let peace fill our world, let peace fill our universe. May you be filled by the presence of God. May you draw from the wells of justice, peace, and righteousness. May you taste the fruit of the Spirit as you make the way of Jesus your path in the world, and you make the name of God known in word and deed. Go in peace and power to love and serve God and neighbor. Peace be with you. Let's share in the passing of peace. here at Mosaic, and for those of you online, thank you for being with us. Peace be with you.